Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my last reaction of the day because and please forgive me if my voice doesn't sound as loud or as boisterous simply because I was doing so much screaming concerning One Piece's chapter today and I'm like I don't know how much more awesomeness or craziness or terrifying news I can handle. So, excuse me if I don't get overly loud. But we have a new chapter of Sakamoto Days, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu 92 here. Welcome back to more Sakamoto Days. In the last chapter, Osaragi defeated the crazy mother with the knife, the crazy lady with the knife, and just easily sliced her apart, but the baby remained intact. So Osaragi is now sleeping off. Osaragi is sleeping off the poison that she's been infected with, and now we cut back to Shishiba, who not only has been easily contending with Gozu, but also resolved himself to basically defeat Gozu and destroys one of his gauntlet weapons in the process. So now let's see what happens in days 253, God of Thunder. And we have Shishiba looking smugly at Gozu going, "You sure you don't need a recharge? Want me to lend you a portable charger? I got the high capacity one." "Nah, I'm good. Won't take much to kill you. Besides, it's getting dark. It's about time to amp up the excitement." And then it shows the hammer of Shishiba and the last remaining gauntlet of Gozu. And then Gozu charges up with lightning and then immediately charges Shishiba. And then while electricity is around Shishiba, he notices something and Gozu tries to stab him with the last remaining hand he has that has like claws on it. But in the process, Shishiba still gets hit with lightning. And then he momentarily gets punched away by Gozu. "Whether I dodge or parry, there's a lag so I get shocked either way. It's annoying. But that means he's been using up electricity this whole time. That's convenient." And then while Gozu is momentarily reveling in the fact that he managed to hit Shishiba kicks him into a wall, hard. "I'll overwhelm him with an offensive onslaught." And then Gozu looks at him as Shishiba just keeps going in constantly over and over and over. And then Gozu flips backwards, and Shishiba hones in on Gozu charging electricity in his feet, and Shishiba notices as Gozu literally supercharges his way towards Shishiba, and Shishiba, having noticed it, immediately blocks him and keeps from getting grievously hit by Gozu, who's already airborne. "Seriously? I fortify myself with electricity and this guy's keeping up with just an ordinary body? It's like fighting Gaku. In that case..." And then all of a sudden, that electricity he had coursing through his body, it stops. He no longer has any electricity in his body. "I'm out of juice? Darn it, I used up more power than I expected. Seems like electricity ain't free after all. I'm such an idiot. I totally got caught up in his face." And then Shishiba, using the same move that Gozu did, speeds towards Gozu and blitzes him and sends Gozu flying. Sends Gozu flying into the distance. And then he hits a truck and skids to the ground after coughing up some blood. And then civilians are looking at him. "There's a guy on the ground. Hey, are you okay?" I'll use a defibrillator. Better get his necklace off." And these dumb civilians, they basically charge up Gozu with the defibrillator. And his charge goes up to 15%. He's getting up! Worst cost-benefit ratio of any guy I've ever fought. And then Gozu is right next to a massive power line. "Well, so it goes. It's been a while, but I'll go full recharge on this guy." And then Shishiba's hopping on top of people's cars, going, "Where'd he fly off to? Don't just sit there. Drive."
But the traffic light.
And then Shishiba's in the middle of the city, but there's no lights in the city at all. All lights have gone out of the entire city. It's a total blackout. A blackout? And then Shishiba's in the middle, seeing that no lights are on at all. And then he looks over and he sees Gozu walking towards him, and Gozu's walking towards him like Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, just coursing with energy. I felt that last attack. And before Shishiba can fully block Gozu, Gozu jumps and blitzes him, and kicks him. And then Shishiba is hit so hard that he's sent flying into a forest park. And then he skips across a lake that's there and goes into it. And then he comes out of the water, looking around, going, "Water, helpful, but where even am I? I can't see anything besides because of the blackout. My night vision sucks." And then it shows Gozu already in the water, still coursing with electricity, sending the electricity, just shooting through the water itself, electrifying everything inside, but not before Shishiba jumps out of the water. And then it shows all this electrical energy lighting up an entire building behind Gozu. As the lights turn on, as Shishiba is preparing to fight Gozu in front of this brightly lit up building, all because of Gozu's runoff lightning. "Sorry, dazzles the eyes, huh? Enough of this flashy crap. What are you, a teen idol?" And mind you, this is Gozu saying, "I'm gonna fight him at full charge," and he has yet to actually kill Shishiba. And this is the end of the chapter. I got through this very, very quickly. So Gozu, had it not been for those dumb civilians saying like, "Oh, he's unconscious, let's use a defibrillator." First of all, why would you think it'd be good for you to use a defibrillator and you don't know the condition of the person, even after he went flying into a truck? Why would you stupidly put a defibrillator on him? The thing about the civilians in the world of Sakamoto days is not a lot of them. There are tons of them that are just plain stupid. No one gets a defibrillator out to try and revive a person and you don't even know their condition. But yeah, Shishiba already sees that Gozu's already down one claw, so his damage potential has gone down. But because Gozu gets a full charge, now Gozu still wants to fight Shishiba. But the thing is, Gozu's been hurt pretty bad. He literally got kicked hard by Shishiba before he could even react and sent flying into the middle of the city and straight into a truck. Left coughing up blood and everything. Shishiba hasn't been brought to that point. He's been hit hard over the head because of that swing from the last initial chapter that we saw, but nothing to bring him down, and this Joker still got hammers. He still has hammers! With hammers, I can do anything. It's like Gaara saying, with sand, I can do anything. With hammers, I can do anything. And Gozu's trying to be all flashy, show off his strength, but Shishiba's all like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What is all this extra? What's going on? What is all this nonsense? What are you, a teen idol or something? Stop with trying to be all flashy. This is a fight to the death. So here's Gozu still trying to be all boisterous. In defense of the civilians, they didn't know. Yeah, I know, in defense. I will say I like the parallels of this fight to Osaragi's, especially if this theme of struggling with sight continues on in this fight. Yeah, that is a good point. My thing is, Gozu is still rolling on the thought that if I just charge up my whole body, then I'll be able to bring down Shishiba. Bruh, you couldn't even bring down Osaragi and Shishiba together when you had a charge. You're on a 15% charge right now. And every moment you discharge lightning, it's not like it's going back into you. You're not reabsorbing it. It's just being projected somewhere else. He's already used lightning to charge up his body to kick Shishiba into a forest, into a lake. Then he used more to discharge some lightning to electrify the entire body of water that he was in, frying all the fish inside. And now he's discharged lightning again to basically turn on this giant pagoda that's behind him that has been turned on to such a high brightness that this is pretty much the only part in the city that is brightly lit, meaning that with this whole blackout going on right now, Shishiba is capable of seeing just fine. So who knows where his charge is at right now? But Gozu is not really using it wisely, because all these displays that fail to kill Shishiba is literally him just using and losing more and more energy. Mind you, that 15% charge was enough to get him back on his feet, and then he just fully charged his body from a nearby power line, and the whole city's been drained because of it. So who knows how much electricity he has left in him? But my thing is, Shishiba is still bothered by the fact. For the record, I do agree with you and the civilians being dumb, just trying to play devil's advocates for once. Oh no, you're fine, you're fine. It's just them. They didn't know. But it's like that haphazardness is how many of them get killed. Like, we've seen so many civilians die whenever these people from Alkamar or these prospects for the Order just traipse on through. We see so many. We just saw one random person die that was between Osaragi and the crazy lady with the knife. Like, he just opened this door saying like, what's going on out here? And his head immediately gets sliced apart. He just opened his door. Didn't say nothing to nobody, just opened his door and immediately got sliced straight through the face. So, should be interesting to see what happens once Shishiba is fighting Gozu, who's apparently fully charged, and see what Gozu's going to attempt to do while he's at fully charged, even though his attempts to take out Shishiba hasn't been met with him bringing that person down already. Because he said, let's see, well, so it goes, it's been a while, but I'll go full recharge on this guy. And then drains the whole place, and then charges up with electricity. I keep saying lightning, but charges up with electricity, saying I felt that last attack, and then kicking Shishiba away. But Shishiba's not down. And the fact that Shishiba can fully jump out of water like it's nothing to avoid getting electrocuted, and still alive. Just saying, like, enough with the flashy nonsense. What are you? So it's like, Shishiba is still unbothered. That's the thing. It didn't work, but the electricity and water strategy wasn't bad. If it wasn't someone as skilled as Shishiba, that probably would have done significant damage. Yes, if it was anybody else other than Shishiba, they more than likely would have died. But because Shishiba knows this guy's MO so well, and has been able to, for the most part, avoid too much critical damage from him, because even when Gozu was charged up a little bit more, even after dodging an attack from Gozu, he still got hit. He still got hit from the electricity because there was lag in between the attacks. Now with Gozu being at full charge, who knows how much more amped up that's going to be. It's like an electrical version of Sage Jutsu, where you can hit a person, but they still get hit afterwards, even if they dodge, because it's like you can use like the air itself to harm a person. Who knows how that's going to play with Gozu being electrified this way, and how great the damage will be if Shishiba doesn't properly dodge away from him. Now, mind you, this fight's going to continue because we are not going on break from the end of this chapter. But I honestly feel that Shishiba's still going to come out on top. Maybe even killed someone. I mean, if that hit Shishiba, that would do a lot of damage, but Shishiba is smart and fast enough to get out of the water. Yeah, he could tell, because he saw the lightning coming. Here's the thing. Electricity is incredibly fast. Water is a absolutely perfect conductor for electricity, which is the reason why that people say that you should not have any electrical devices in water because of how quickly the electricity can move through it. For Shishiba to see Gozu in water and get out of it before his body discharged enough lightning to kill him and the fish inside, he immediately jumps out of it. So it stands to reason that despite the fact, and the thing is, Gozu doesn't understand how someone who has a normal body, who isn't being powered up by electricity, is capable of avoiding some of the most grievous stuff he's trying to do to him. How is this guy avoiding me so easily and he has a normal body. I can charge myself up with electricity and make myself faster than most. So, how is this person who is just normal, has a normal body, able to avoid me and avoid getting killed by me for so long? Simply because Shishiba's that skilled. His reflexes are capable of being on par with someone who's capable of accelerating their own reflexes with electric impulses. Just being supercharged that way, it's not enough to actually bring Shishiba down as easily as Gozu has been thinking this whole time. Because every single time Shishiba avoids something vital from being hit, Gozu's all like, oh, you're lucky. I'm still going to bring you down, though. And then when Gozu tries to go in for the kill again, Shishiba not only repels him, but has already taken off one of his weapons in the process. And Gozu still has the mindset of, well, if I supercharge myself, then it'll be enough to kill him. And it's like, nothing you have tried thus far to actually kill Shishiba has actually worked. Regardless of you getting an extra charge in. Remember, he got a charge in when he was fighting him earlier, and that still wasn't enough. Now he's trying to charge his body up to max? I still don't like his chances because Shishiba says, like, I have an overly dependent subordinate to look after. So Shishiba's all like, yeah, I'm not about to die to you. I'm not about to die to you. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. And the fact that Shishiba, he's not yelling, he's not getting overly bothered, he's not getting overly surprised too often. Mind you, he does have moments where something catches his attention and he goes a little bit wide-eyed and he jumps out of the way before something bad happens to him. But he's not saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," and keeps repeating it. Like if you're going to do something, if you're going to shoot, don't talk. It's like, if you're going to do something, do it. Don't keep talking about how you're going to do it. Shishiba hasn't said that. He's just been contending with Gozu. While Gozu keeps going like, you're kind of strong, but I'm still going to take you out. You're kind of strong, but there's no way you're going to survive this. You're kind of strong, and I'm going to use all of my strength to bring you down. Shishiba's all like, literally like Saitama like, okay. That's literally been Shishiba the entire fight. He's indifferent. And that sort of indifference has kept him calm. That sort of indifference is what has allowed him to survive this whole entire encounter. Because if you're calm in the midst of a fight, you good. If someone else is getting bothered by it and keeps spouting off nonsense as if to try to throw you off your game and you're unbothered by it, you already won. You already won. So my thing is, I could see this fight ending next chapter, but I can also see a possibility that this fight has 2 chapters left in it rather than just 1. So either Shishiba brings down Gozu in the next chapter, or it's the next chapter after that. Either one of those two. It's either going to be the first chapter we get in April, or it's going to be the following week. Either one of those two. But I don't know. All I do know is that Gozu is really trying to pull out all of the stops in order to bring Shishiba down, and every attempt to do so has failed. And Gozu's been getting hurt more than Shishiba has. And my thing is, who knows what this... I will say I did also appreciate Gaku being brought up in this chapter. Yeah, because Gozu says, like, it's like I'm fighting Gaku. And we all know that Gaku was an incredibly difficult person to bring down. It literally took Takamura cutting down Gaku to keep Gaku down. Even when Gaku's arm got sliced off, it got put together by Kashi and he was back in fighting form as if nothing happened because the cut was so clean. But saying that Shishiba is comparable to Gaku, that's scary. It means that Shishiba is capable of keeping up and even harming Gozu more than he realized. I fortify myself with electricity, and this guy's keeping up with just an ordinary body. It's like fighting Gaku in that case, and then tries to charge up and saying I'm out of juice. And then because of that moment where he thought he could be able to take on Shishiba, he gets knocked straight out of the apartment complex and into a truck. And then seeing a power line, he decides to just fully charge his body. and then tries to go after Shishiba, but still not enough to kill him immediately. So that's where we stand. I will say I did appreciate. Huh. Okay. So what we have here, I wish Gozu's character was explored more because he has the cool design, but I just wish his past and character was explored. It would be interesting if we get like Gozu's backstory. Before he loses this fight with Shishiba. Because it could be like a life flash before my eyes type moment. And then we see that final coup de grace brought on to him. After seeing that life in Alkmaar and seeing how he interacted with, like Uzuki and everybody else and how they came to know each other and the whole process of him getting like that arc reactor in his chest. So that's something I actually kind of want to see. I kind of want to see that for myself. But we'll have to see if the next chapter will actually bring that on. Because he wants to take back the lives that J.A. stole from Alkmaar, but I wish we see more of his interactions with characters like Gaku or Uzuki and so on were explored. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really hope we get like a little bit of Gozu's backstory. Before we see him defeated. So that way we can kind of understand him a little bit more, but not to the point where it's all like, oh, I feel sad for him. Because it's like all these people from the Alkmaar that have joined with Uzuki, they're just psychopaths. So it'd be interesting to see how he interacted with the rest of the orphans of Alkmaar and Uzuki and whatnot before that final blow is delivered. Because you all know that Gozu is just like trying to stand on ceremony. So it's like, yeah, we'll have to see. But overall, pretty decent chapter. And the fact that we're not going on break from One Piece, and the fact that we're not going on break from Sakamoto Days as well. I'm really looking forward to the chapters that we get on Sunday. I don't know about you guys, but I am grateful to be reading these chapters for you guys. Sorry it took so long for these chapters to come out there, but I really do appreciate you guys being patient with me. I don't know about you, but I'm having fun. To everyone here, all I can say is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait because I like Gozu and I want to connect with him in some way whilst obviously not liking or justifying his actions. I got you. That's kind of where I'm at as well. Like, I kind of want to connect why he's behaving the way he is and what's caused him to think like, like Kumanomi and all the others from Alkmaar with Uzuki and why they follow Uzuki so vehemently. Like, what was the reason? Sorry for yapping. See you next time. Holster, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're good. Don't even worry about it. This is what these streams and conversations are for. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Even check out the membership and Patreon because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!